Hello, hello. I'm gonna send out this stream everywhere and get started. This is kind of a surprise one. I did not expect to be doing this stream tonight, but I'm gonna talk a little bit about Amajiki, check out this fresh cut grass card, and yeah, just talk about whatever seems interesting. Let me go find this and share this around and let's get started here. All right. Is Tam streaming right now? Am I like, I hope I'm not cutting into his stream as well. Let's go check it out. No, he's not. He ended his. All right. Well, I'll give everybody just a few minutes to show up, and then we'll get started. Basically, I want to talk about this Amajiki list I ended up running for locals, my local qualifier. I got third place out of 11 of us. It was a very good time. Everybody tried really hard. And there was 11 of us. It was just a nice, good time. Local qualifiers, I think, are doing really good things for us. This is at Lubbock. If you're ever in Lubbock, Texas, then I apologize, but you should go to Storm Crow Games because we've got a great community Saturday nights. This isn't 5 a.m. Yeah, I tried 5 a.m. Honestly, I was going to stream at 5 a.m. tomorrow, and then my wife went to bed early tonight. The national championship just ended, and I thought, hey, what if instead of streaming at 5 a.m. in the morning, I just went ahead and went live right now and then could sleep in a little bit tomorrow. So my schedule's all over the place. I kind of think I'm going to just mainly focus on videos and then just stream at random times whenever I feel like it. Okay, we got some of us. I've got the chat kind of up here. I've got, if you guys could see my filming setup, it is so bad. It is such a bad filming setup, in all honesty. Streaming at a normal time, wild. I know, I might actually get some viewers here. Gonna do a deck profile on this Amajiki list, talk about my rounds, and just kind of recap my local qualifier. But first, check out what came in the mail. We got fresh cut grass right here, and our playmat. So I am gonna relish this moment because I paid $40 for these, gosh darn it. This isn't a free fresh cut grass like everybody else is gonna get at their local game stores. This is one of those $40 fresh cut grasses. One of those premium ones. So what I want to see is, does this actually smell like grass? And how nice is this playmat? Let's start off here. We got, I know nothing about Critical Role, to be honest, or next to nothing. And I do not know this character, Fresh Cut Grass. I assume that he's a nice guy because he likes positive reinforcement. Let's see here. I'm so terrible at opening things. How I open things is I just rip them to shreds and eventually make... Oh, look at that. They have these nice tabs here. Okay, I like the presentation. I probably should just keep this box. Keep this box for playmats. Nah, that's trash. There we go. Let's see. Nice. Now I can do my deck profile on fresh cut grass here. I like it. It feels kind of comparable to the other playmats, maybe a little thicker. Maybe a little thicker, but it's not really like stitched edging, you know. It's your typical Universus playmat. It does feel a little thicker. Like, check it out. This is my other, no, it's the same. I noticed that this one started like fraying pretty fast, which is kind of a bummer. Like the edges have been fraying decently fast, but that's been my favorite one to play with. All right, that's a nice playmat. I am determined to like this playmat. I paid $40 for it. I'm gonna like it. Okay, let's see this thing. How do I make this thing smell like grass? Do I really have to like scratch it or like scratch and sniff? Okay, here we go. Nice. He does not have the control check, does not have the difficulty. So that means you can only use him as your starting character and not inside of your deck. There we go. Bells, Hells, and Healer. Somebody has to explain all of these jokes to me. For the Bells joke. Okay, it's a rub and sniff. But my question is, I don't want to ruin my card. Okay, if I scratch it, it'll damage the card, but I don't want to rub it either. Where am I supposed to rub it? Am I supposed to rub his belly? Okay, I need a control. I need like a, if I'm gonna test this out, I need like a, let's see here. Okay, normal playing card. Fresh cut grass. I got nothing. So am I supposed to heat up the front? The grass looks like a different texture, probably there. This got to come with instructions here. Man, I gotta like run outside at 11 o'clock at night and grab some grass and smell it. I got nothing. That's my normal card. Rub the grass. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna rub the whole freaking card aggressively. All right. Well, I got nothing. I got nothing. It's been a long time since I mowed my lawn, in all honesty. Maybe I've just forgotten the smell of grass. But I think I've been thoroughly fleeced. I think I've been fleeced. It's like a glow stick, just crack it. Yeah, you have to freshly cut it first. Yeah, I got nothing. But he's nice. This is one of those characters, too, that I actually think he's quite good. I've already built a deck for him. I have not actually played him yet, but he's just one of those HP sponge characters that we keep on printing. By the way, everybody right now is an HP sponge character. I just got done from about 8:30 until 10. I was playing with Barlow, great player, one of the best Amajiki players there is, and I was playing my Void Jin list against his Chaos Amajiki list, and man, it was just a crazy matchup. Our game one went over an hour long. He had like 4 Armor of the Apes in his momentum. He had 3 broken psyches. It took me multiple turns of playing like 8 attacks to actually kill him. I think I probably, in order to kill Amajiki, I had to deal 80 damage, 60 damage, something like 60 to 80 damage with Jin. which is very hard to do with Jin. Even with all the damage pump that I've given this guy, um, had to deal just a crazy amount of damage to get through Jin. Everybody's HP sponge characters these days. Um, Amajiki with Armor of the Ape is kind of crazy. I'll get into it a little bit because that's the deck that I played this last for my local qualifier, and it just felt so good that I am now thinking about switching from Jin for Vegas back to Amajiki. Not back to Amajiki, but back to the Chaos build, right? Topped the webcam regional with Chaos Mirio, and to be honest, Amajiki feels the exact same as Mirio. Everybody says Mirio requires no thoughts. He's a brain dead character, but he's really not. Amajiki feels like he's activating the same brain cells. I mean, you're just 7-hand size Mirio doing Chaos Armor of the Wolf things. Mirio gets the benefit of Phantom Threat, clearing to momentum, but Amajiki gets the benefit of being 7-hand size. So take whichever one you prefer. Both characters, you're zeroing out an attack effectively once per turn. But I'm kind of getting away from this. But what I was saying is, Fresh Cut Grass is just this HP sponge character. And with all the damage reduction that we have in the format right now, it feels like everybody is an HP sponge. And I know Tim Keefe does not like those. Does not like HP sponge characters and having to play a deck that can deal 70 damage to have any chance of winning a game. But that is what we have with Fresh Cut Grass. You get complement a rival. Ready 1 foundation in each rival stage. Ready 2 foundations. So you have to complement your rival as a cost. If you do not complement your rival, your opponent can call the judge on you. Response commit after a rival's unblocked attack resolves. Add 1 action or 1 spell card from your discard pile to your hand. For 90% of the time, that's going to be just an action. You can put an action in your hand. So wound restore, gain 5 health. Actions like that. And that's just going to make him a super high health character, and he gets to ready 2. So I can show off my Fresh Cut Grass list here a little bit. What if every deck is brain dead? Yeah, that's true. I think there's a certain amount of that. Like, people like to say, oh, this character's brain dead, but my character's complex. But I think in this game, that's a lot less true. Even your younger players, you'll be able to tell a better player on younger from a worse player on younger. Let me see. Should I go grab my Fresh Cut Grass deck? I probably should in the spirit of things. Let me go get it here. Let's go find it. Okay. Here we go. I have to be careful on my computer because when you're streaming, if you show something on your computer, it is just out there. So I have to be careful that, I didn't accidentally put anything embarrassing or personal on here. If you thought Battle Aura release Falling Skies is brain dead in HLs, just wait till Amajikis are smart enough to play Water Highs instead of Chaos. No way. No way. Armor of the Wolf is way too good, in my opinion. And then everybody's packing high blocks these days. It feels like everybody's got skewing their decks towards high blocks because you just have to. So this is my Life Cut Grass deck. Can I actually add the character in here now? Maybe I can. Let's see. Is he added? He's not added. We don't have Fresh Cut Grass yet. But here's my deck for him. So the idea behind the deck is spreading the word, 4x this foundation, and then you can commit it, add a pamphlet counter to a card in your rival's stage. This attack is +2 speed. We can then use Fresh Cut Grass to re-ready spreading the word, use spreading the word again, On our rival's turn, use fresh cut grass again. Ready spreading the word, use it. So 1 spreading the word every turn cycle is 3 spreading the word. If you get a repeated 100% smash, then you had 4 spreading the word. That means that if you had 2 spreading the words in your stage, you could realistically give 8 pamphlet counters during a turn cycle, basically putting your rival on a you're going to have to destroy your stage and stay at 9 foundations. And meanwhile, I can build into Deadlock like crazy. I've got infinite health between Ruthless Mockeries and Wound Restores. I've got some draw here with Rejuvenating, and eventually I'll get you. And I can add spell. You can add a Spirit Lollipop to your hand as a spell. So this was the base. Oh, and Blood Evaluation is how you really draw with Fresh Cut Grass. This is the other idea of the deck. You can ready Blood Evaluation with Fresh Cut Grass. You get to ready 2 foundations. So if you decide to, instead of using Spreading the Word, use Blood Evaluations, then on your turn, you get to draw 2 cards, and then on your rival's turn, you get to draw 2 more cards. Now you're a 9 hand size, 70 health character. That has to be good, right? That has to be good. That's wild. I just said a go. If there's a 1-card combo that lets you give 8 combos 1 go, when I would take it seriously. Yeah, I think there's something here with Spreading the Word and Cut Grass. That he can use it so easily 3 times in a turn, get a few of these in stage, and you're on a clock. He gets to use these Blood Evaluations. He can play like a 9-hander. Spirit Detective just seemed interesting to seal it and then ready it and then seal it. What else did I have in here? Other than that, oh, the Air Force style deck. This is fun because you get to point and click, ready something for your rival stage, and then you can respond Air Force style, flip it, shuffle it back into their deck, and then we can use our Falling Heel Strikes to unflip the Air Force styles and just keep debuilding our rival's stage using that. So Fresh Cut Grass, he's got some interesting stuff. The Spreading the Word, the Blood Eval, the Air Force styles with the Heel Strike. You know, he's 39 health. He's probably not going to get punked on turn 2. He's going to get to establish his stage a little bit. Once he establishes his stage, he's going to be a menace to push through. I think he's going to be annoying. He's going to be very similar to Recovery Girl type character. Recovery Girl, Kuwabara. Going to be annoying. He's going to be fun to play. And he's going to feel nice when your rival's complimenting you. But yeah, he is a character that adds a lot of stats. ZL says, only issue with Spreading the Word is they either have to go into Deadlock or they don't have Foundation Destruction. Shame it checks at start of combat phase. Yeah, they were very, very cautious with Spreading the Word that someday there was going to be somebody who could break it. And maybe that's because they already had this character designed. I bet they originally said that Spreading the Word could do it on your turn. And then they designed this character and decided that, because this is also a Critical Role character, right? So probably designed at the same time. Then they decided, actually, let's give our rival a turn to build new ones and destroy their ones. But the benefit of the Spreading the Word with this character is even if you're not winning through the pamphlet counters, the threat of it is keeping your rival at 9 foundations instead of going to 10. And then you can sprint ahead, and then you can use your Blood Evaluations to become a 7 hand size character, 9 hand size character over the course of a turn cycle. So if you're, sure, they're not going to lose to the pamphlet counters, but you're at 20 foundations, they're at 9, you get to draw a million cards, and they have to respect the Spreading the Word. Life has some decent foundation snipes for their destruction outlets. Yeah, like the Air Force style, right? If we main 4 Air Force style and we can unflip it with Falling Heel Strike, yeah, destroy your destruction thing, pamphlet counter, pamphlet counter, pamphlet counter. What are you going to do here? Like, it just feels like he's going to put people on these clocks, and 39 health is a lot of damage to do. And then because he gets to add this action to his hand, Wound Restore Or what was the other one? The one that when you block with it, everything gets -2 damage. He's going to play like he's a 70 health character. You're going to have to deal 70 before he can get you. Phil, there's something here. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody brings this guy to Vegas. I know Pippa has been saying that this is her kind of character. So we'll see if that actually ends up, fresh cut grass ends up coming to Vegas. The joy is doing something that's so different that you have to account for XYZ differently. Yeah, you have to flip. Your rival's not even going to know how to react to a spreading the word deck. They probably did not prepare for that in their testing for Vegas to get ready. There's a part of me that wants to try life with both applesauce WinCon and spreading the word WinCon. Yeah, I haven't looked at the applesauce counters and what that could do. Spreading the word is the best alt WinCon I think I've ever seen for UFS. It's fun. It's fun. And it's a fun theme. They can't have alternate WinCons be too good. Otherwise, it just breaks the game too much. It has to be something to where you just kind of do it. It has to very much be your secondary strategy. Like, I think fresh cut grass is still going to try and kill you. It's just that spreading the word puts you on a clock. Wait, there's an applesauce counter? All right, let's check this out. This is Amajiki. Okay, I had a local qualifier this last weekend. I live in Wolfforth, Texas, about 5 minutes out of Lubbock, Texas. I mean, they're right next to each other. So basically Lubbock, Texas. My local game store is Stormcrow Games. If you're ever in Lubbock, come join us at Stormcrow. We play every Saturday at around 5 or 7 o'clock. It's a great group of players. There's about 10 of us that typically show up on any given Saturday. But there's also another Stormcrow Games down south in Midland, Odessa area. So 2 weeks ago, I went to the Midland local qualifier. There's about 5. That's a game store that just opened up. So there's only like 4 or 5 players really at the Midland store. So about 5 of us from Lubbock all got in one car, drove down to Midland, and played in that local qualifier. And for that one, I played Jin. I ended up going undefeated. I think I only dropped a single game and won that local qualifier. And then this last week, I didn't want to play Jin again. I wanted to play someone new, but I also didn't want to take the time to sleeve up a completely new deck. So I already had Chaos Mirio in these red sleeves, and I decided I'll just take this 60 card Mirio list. I'll keep 40, 50 of the cards. I'll add on 20 more. I'll say it's Amajiki, and then I'll play something that's just kind of fun. So the fun idea behind Amajiki was simply that I wanted to play a deck taking advantage of Around the World and Walk the Dog. If I was going to do a deck profile, it would have been smart for me to organize these before I turn on the camera. But I wanted to play this combo, this Around the World Walk the Dog combo. These were the rare and ultra rare that I got to reveal, and so I feel this kind of love for these cards. And Walk the Dog, I just think, belongs in every deck on its symbols at a 3x or 4x. But Around the World, I haven't been getting a lot of love lately. It's this 2-check, 4 mid 6 stun 1 throw that says you can discard a momentum to add a copy of Around the World or Walk the Dog from your discard pile to your hand. So if you don't have one of these in your discard pile, but you have one in your momentum, you can discard it as cost and then pick it up. Basically, as long as one of this is in your momentum or in your discard, you can pick it up into your hand. And this is enticing to me for a few different reasons. I hate throw decks in general. I do not like throw game plans because throws are slow. And so either you're completely going for this throw game plan, in which case if your opponent is playing a serious amount of throw hate, you just lose. And you still lose most of the time because the throw strategy takes too long. Even in like younger throw lists, the throw strategy can take too long. And so I'm not a fan of throws in general, but this throw is unlike others in that it's fast. It's 4 speed and says stun 1. So that changes everything. This is like a 5-speed throw. Open with it with Amajiki. If I can play a lower attack ratio, because if I play 3 of these, that means I can get away with playing a like 30%, sub 30% attack ratio. I can go find a new attack. I can stack Amajiki's damage on the Around the World. So I can say, hey, plus 9 damage. This is now a 15 damage throw. I'm going to discard something. I'm going to go grab another Around the World. And then if I have like Armor of the Wolves in my momentum, I can give that even more damage. And sometimes just in the late game, if they don't have throw hate, just going throw, throw, throw wins you the game. You know, like sometimes that is just a winning line. Just saying, hey, I'm going to throw. I'm going to play another throw. There we go. I got the game. If you're not playing throw hate, Amajiki does not say it has to be a non-throw attack when he's adding the damage. So this can kind of just punk people. It allows me to get away with a lower attack ratio. And Amajiki's primary kill card by far right now, like by far, is Armor of the Wolf. Armor of the Wolf is just cracked in this character. EX3, powerful 3, 5 mid 5. You can give it the damage 3 times over because it gets damage every time your rival passes. You have a billion momentum in Amajiki, so it's going to get a million damage that way. And then you can powerful for more damage, and then you can give Amajiki more damage. So this thing can become a monster of an attack 3 times over, and you can EX it. It's everything you need, but you can only run 4x of this card. I was playing a 75 card list, and so if I don't have access to Armor of the Wolf, what playing Around the World says is, hey, I can go get Armor of the Wolf Light, which is Walk the Dog. I don't get the EX3, I don't get the on face get damage, but I do still get powerful 3, and it's a stun 1 6-speed move that says draw. Basically, Around the World just says, okay, I didn't get the Armor of the Wolf, I still need a kill card. All right, I'll go get Walk the Dog, and now I've got the kill card. So that was my idea behind playing an Amajiki list with Around the World and Walk the Dog. If I actually switch from Jin to Amajiki for Vegas, which those are the 2 characters I'm between right now, I honestly have been liking Amajiki more than Mirio, which might be something kind of controversial since I've always been a Mirio player. But I like Amajiki a little bit more. He's 7 hand size Mirio. I still get to zero out the damage of a move for my rival. I get access to free Broken Psyches to zero out even more things. I get access to, one of my favorite things about Mirio is starting the attack string with a Phantom Threat, because Phantom Threat is going to become like a 10 speed, 14 damage attack that self-clears itself to your momentum. And Amajiki now gets like Phantom Threat Light in the sense that he gets Armor of the 8. So this is not going to self-clear itself, but it's a starting move that as soon as you have like 6 momentum, it's going to be a 10 mid 10. So you say 10 mid 10. If you commit out to block this, I'm going to kill you with Wolf or Walk the Dog. If you take this, then maybe I just build out and say thank you very much. I dealt 10 damage. This feels like the Phantom Threat of the Mirio decks. Late in the game, at least, once it doesn't take you very long between Steaming Spheres, Force Quirk activations, plus Amajiki just always getting a momentum face up. It really doesn't take you that long to get to 5 or 6 momentum, to where Armor of the Ape is just a crazy opener. The aggression of Amajiki was just feeling insane for me in my testing. So the primary purpose I wanted to play the deck was I was too lazy to sleeve up something new. I didn't want to play Mirio. I didn't want to play Jin again. I've always said Amajiki is like this top 5 character. Well, I might as well play him and put that to the test, see how I feel. Okay, I'm going to take a short break and read some comments. Ben Hines says, one of us. Yeah, exactly. I am joining you, Barlow, Michael, and the other Amajiki players. I'm going to play this deck, but with nothing except Around the World and Tentacle Grasp. Oh, wait. Walk the Dog is a low. Lows and throws are so back. Yeah, I think honestly, I won two of my games at at my local qualifier with Around the World. Just hey, two straight throws with damage added on, that just gets the job done. So, you know, I won a game in round two against Not. Somebody's playing Chaos Not, and I played in Around the World. They were at 6 health. I made it 11 damage. They blocked with a protecting Yukina, and then I said they blocked the protecting Yukina, responded saying now it's I deal no damage, and then I got to play Incredible Display and say I'll cancel protecting Yukina. You still die to the throw. That's one of the really nice things about this combo right here is that you're going to get around Dimensional Sphere with an Incredible Display on board. You're going to get around Protecting Yukina with this on board. Does Incredible Display stop Faith Shield? Does this stop Faith Shield? I can't. Faith Shield's a response, right? So this should be able to stop it. Yeah, Incredible Display. I think this is maybe the best foundation in the game right now. Maybe it's Struggling with Studies number 1, Incredible Display number 2, which means that the Chaos symbol gets access to the best two foundations in the game. Yeah, Incredible Display is just nuts. Dayton says, "What aggression!" Dayton is one of my locals. We played in round 1 of the local qualifier, and Dayton was on Kuwabara. And our game, we played one game. It took the full hour. And I finally won at the end on this crazy attack string. I had to get a wolf through double referee jury plus 20 foundations in Kuwabara's stage for negative 20 damage. I think Amajiki I had to deal 100 damage on that turn to get through Kuwabara. Otherwise, it was just going to end in a 0-0 tie. It's just nuts. Just a crazy game. So that was my thinking on Around the World in Amajiki. Now it is a 2-check, so I decided to run 3 Around the World in a 75 card deck, thinking that, hey, 3 and 75 cards, it's not going to mess me up too bad. I'm not playing a super high ratio of like 2 diffs and 3 diff foundations. I think I can get away with it and not check it on my build turn. Basically, I was playing 3 Around the Worlds and 2 Walk the Dogs. I didn't feel any need to go up to 3 or 4 Walk the Dog. I honestly could have probably just stayed at 1 because the Around the World can just go fetch it for me if I need. Fetch it with dog. There's something there. Yeah, I could just go fetch the Walk the Dog. And if it was in my discard pile with the Around the World. So the Around the Worlds were basically extra copies of Walk the Dog if I needed it. I played 2 just to make sure that I always had 1 in my discard so that I could go grab it. Yeah, I think Incredible Display. I'm going to make a video on like the top 10 foundations to play, like the top 10 meta relevant foundations to play for Vegas. And I think Incredible Display would have to be top 3. It stops everything. I know I was just testing against Amajiki tonight and I was playing Jin, and I basically had to get my Ice Sword executions to commit the Incredible Displays. Otherwise, the Incredible Displays were going to get in the way of my Echoes. They were going to get in the way of my Rejus, draw 2, gain 2. They were just going to get in the way of everything. So had to go find my Ice Sword execution so I could commit those Incredible Displays down. Did I miss FCG discussion? Yes, you did, Pippa, but I did shout you out that you might be playing Fresh Cut Grass for Vegas, and I showed off my life list currently, but I can confirm I smell nothing. It smells like a new card. Maybe it smells like grass, but maybe just, I mean, this is made out of paper, right? Which is made out of trees. So maybe it just would have smelled like grass anyway. Maybe that's the April Fool's joke. They're just, maybe all paper smells like. FCG is dank as hell, which makes sense. Yeah. I think he's going to be fun to play. I think he's going to be one of the most annoying characters ever to play against. He's gonna be like recovery girl. My new deck, my any new deck I build with a 2-check, it's customary for my first build turn to always hit the 2-check. Yeah, I hit this. I played. Okay, so I'll go through my preparation for my local qualifier, and then I'll just go through each of the rounds in my local qualifier and how things went. So I took my Mirio list, I changed it to Amajiki, and then I played 3 rounds before the tournament. I played against Muscular. I played a round against Muscular, a round against Death Younger, and a round against something else that I can't remember. And I went undefeated, never dropping a single game in my preparations for the local qualifier. And that was even with making all sorts of mistakes with Amajiki. This character right now is cracked. He felt like I was always completely safe and I could just play a 50 damage move on my turn. Like, if you don't have some sort of reset, you are just dead to Wolf. If I draw Wolf, walk the dog, you are just dead if you don't have a reset. That's what Amajiki's saying. And even if you do have resets, I can give Wolf damage 3 times over. He was just feeling crazy, and he has so much damage reduction. Okay, just got a notification that my camera here might run out of battery pretty soon. So I better speed this up. So in the testing, it was like, oh my gosh, Amajiki is cracked. And I went 2-0 against Death Younger in my practice because I knew that one of our players, the player who won the local qualifier, when I was playing the webcam regional, I did not get to play my local qualifier for Lubbock. This season, I've played the 2 Midland local qualifiers and then this last Lubbock local. But I didn't get to play in the previous Lubbock local because of the webcam regional. Since I was doing well in it, I chose to prioritize the webcam regional instead of going to the local qualifier. So the last Lubbock local qualifier, we had somebody win with Death Younger Toguro. So I knew they were going to be coming back in with Death Younger, so I had to practice the matchup. So felt good. Going into the local qualifier, round 1, I played Kuwabara. We talked about that a little bit already, that I had to deal like 100 damage. Only got through 1 game in the hour. Round 2, I go up against Knot. That was the round where I got to play the Around the World, make it lethal 1.5. They block with Protecting Yukina. I commit Incredible Display, cancel Protecting Yukina, and that just gets it for me. Round 3, I go up against Death Younger, and I just clobber Death Younger game 1. The benefit of Amajiki against Younger is that I get Struggling with Studies to grab my high block back, right? If I block with like Easily Excited, I'm going to commit, grab this back to my hand, and then I block again. Death Younger only plays highs. Not only does he play highs, he plays slow highs. Without snack time, he can't even push through any decent stage anymore. So as long as you have the high blocks, you can just block everything. And then you also get Struggling with Studies, right? Maybe the best foundation in the game right now. Well, I promise I was playing them. Where are they in my deck list? Here we go. You get Struggling with Studies. So if I have one of these out and one of these out, then a single high block becomes 3 high blocks. So I'll easily block Younger's things for the most part. And then on my turn, if I draw a Wolf, I can deal 32 damage, no problem. Younger's primary method of defense is Keiko's Aid, right? This is like Younger's version of defense, is I'll block, I'll flip Keiko's Aid, and I'll just hope that I get to see another turn. Well, Keiko's Aid is quite weak against a character like Amajiki because it says after you block attack, your rival's next attack is +2 difficulty. So you have to block an attack, right? And if you're playing things like Armor of the Wolf and Armor of the Ape, they're not going to block. You just say, hey, if you don't have Speed Hate in your stage, you can't block my 20 speed Armor of the Wolf. And so your Keiko's Aids don't matter because I'll just kill you on my first attack. I don't have to play this string to kill you. Chaos is so good at dunking on their rival that even Younger's 32 health comes down eventually. So Younger, honestly, Amajiki feels like he kind of dunks on Death Younger at the moment with no snack time. Now, if snack time was a thing still, maybe it would be different. But without snack time, I don't see Younger really pushing through Amajiki, in all honesty. Um, yeah, so I won that game. And then game two, I packed the sideboard. I packed, for my sideboard, I packed Mirio with, you know, 4 Phantom Threats, the Millions of the Big Three. So I sided into Mirio because I thought, okay, going second against Younger, maybe it'd be nice to have more health. And then I got killed. So I sided back into Amajiki and won game three. So Amajiki went 2-0 against Younger and Mirio got killed. Um, I think Amajiki has a better matchup into Younger. Honestly, it felt really really good. So I was 3-0. I tied the next round, going into top cuts as the 1 seed. Our top cuts that day was me as the 1 seed, Younger, the Death Younger that I beat in round 3 as the 2 seed. And the 3 seed was the 3 seed was who was the 3 seed? Oh, I feel bad. I can't remember. I can't remember who the 3 seed was. Now I'm going to go look. If I see the name of who it was, I'll remember what they were playing. And then I can tell you guys my top 4. Here it is. Let's go to standings. Oh, it was Grayson. It was Muscular. The 3 seed was Muscular. So we had Earth Muscular as the 3 seed. Yeah, and then the 4 seed was my brother Patrick on Air Mirio. I go up against Air Mirio. I get to go first. I win game 1, partly because Patrick checked a 3 on his last Phantom Threat. Here, I can see Patrick in the chat right now. Patrick checked a 3 on his last Phantom Threat that would have been lethal. He went Valiant Assault. Okay, if Mirio leads with Valiant Assault, that tells me that they have 2 Valiant Assaults in hand and almost nothing else, right? So he goes, because why would you ever lead Valiant Assault if you had, I mean, you would just play anything else. My brother Patrick was on this air list because he can take advantage of like double Tornado Fist as an Echo with Mirio. It has Punch. And its speed can't be reduced, which is a big deal. And then also Air gets access to like cancels and things so that he can protect his Armor of the Wolf when he makes it huge. Like you get access to like Taiyaki Fanatic and things like that to protect your Armor of the Wolf. So he leads with Valiant Assault. So that tells me that he probably has 2 Valiant Assaults in hand. That's it. So he plays a second Valiant Assault, and I use Genkai's Guidance. I pulled the trigger on Genkai's Guidance early because I figured, well, he probably only has 2 Valiant Assaults in hand. I was playing 2 copies of Genkai's Guidance in this list. So thought he probably only has 2 Valiant Assaults in hand. So I'll just Genkai's Guidance the second one, not let him draw any cards. And then he plays a 3rd Valiant Assault, gets to draw 2. And then he plays a 4th Valiant Assault, gets to draw 2 more. And then he plays the Phantom Threat, checks a 3 on it. If he checked a 5, he would have won the game. I only have 3 foundations because of Genkai's Guidance. You know, Genkai's Guidance gives and takes away. So I have 3 foundations, but luckily I draw an ape and a wolf, and that is just all you need, right? I had like 5 momentum at this point. Even though I was only on 3 foundations, I had 5 momentum. So go ape, hey, this is a 10-10. Wolf, this is a billion, and I win the game. So I win game 1. Game 2, I can't remember any details. I lose. Game 3, I go first again, and I survive an attack turn. I draw into, I have lots of momentum. I draw into just the clear win. I know I've got the win. All I need to do is not check straight 3s, and I've got the win, and I checked straight 3s. On my last 3 attacks, if I check a 5, I get the win, but I went 3-3-3. And so I have to pass back. Now I passed back with like still a broken psyche and like Amajiki with like 8 momentum, so I still had a chance to stay alive as long as Patrick doesn't find 3 attacks. But Patrick goes Phantom Threat. Oh, and I had a Genkai's Guidance in hand, so I felt like okay, as long as Patrick doesn't just draw the gas. But he goes Phantom Threat into like Armor of the Wolf, and I die. Or maybe it was Phantom into Wolf, and I die. So I lost game 3. I lost to Patrick in top 4. That was my first round to lose with this Amajiki deck. So 3 practice rounds before the local qualifier, 4 rounds of Swiss. I never lost a round in 7 rounds with Amajiki. Ended up losing to Patrick's Air Mirio. Patrick plays Death Younger in the finals and wins the local qualifier. So Patrick takes it down with Air Mirio, and the Mirio brothers stay alive, which was nice because in Midland, the finals of our local qualifier was me versus Patrick. Patrick was on Evil Overhaul playing this rando Spirit Gun, and I was on Void Jin. And I beat Patrick, and so he got his revenge on me this local qualifier and took me down in top 4. But it's kind of nice that back-to-back weeks and 10 plus people events that we both got top 4. So feels nice, brothers repping strong. I've been reminded the instant win on applesauce counters only works for 1A. The dream is dead. Oh, yeah, the applesauce counter win condition. FYI, this is a much better stream time, at least for me. I can have you in the background as I wind down for the evening. Yeah, I normally don't. Typically, evenings are, this is when I watch TV. But tonight, my wife decided to go to bed early. So, hey, I'm going to just talk cards instead and sleep in the morning. So that was the Amajiki deck. I'm not sure I necessarily need to go through all of the other things. Let me just point out some stuff. 1 copy of Protecting Yukina. This is kind of nice. You can block with it, discard a momentum, take no damage, commit Incredible Display, pick it up, block with it again. Since Amajiki always has momentum. Force Quirk activation, like Steaming Sphere and Force Quirk, you just get momentum like crazy. Let's see. I was on 2 copies of Kraken, and after playing Amajiki for a week, I realized this needs to be a 3 or 4. Assets are such a big deal that playing this and committing a rival asset goes a long way. It also says that once per turn +2 speed. I was thinking this wouldn't be quite as good as Phoenix, because Phoenix says +1 speed to everything. But if you say +2 speed, if you have 2 of these in your momentum, you say +2 speed, all once per game, unflip these, +2 speed. That's like 8 speed on your Armor of the Wolf. I ended up liking Kraken a lot more than I expected. The reason I had it as a 2 is because I was playing this around the world. So if I was playing like a real Amajiki deck, I'd probably cut the Around the Worlds and go for Kraken. I don't know. The Around the Worlds felt nice. Like a throw gets you momentum. Amajiki, Armor of the Wolf, we like our momentum. Even though it's not going to go in face up, we can always Amajiki say it goes in face up. There's something there. I think it's a real version of Amajiki, but the optimal lines of Amajiki probably aren't playing a 2-check. I did check it once on my build turn, and I still recovered and almost won the game, so it wasn't that big of a deal. Let's jump into the rest. Of course, Broken Psyche, you have to play 3 or 4x that. I was playing a couple Armor of the Phoenix. Honestly, I think I should have been playing 3 or 4 of this. It's a 6-speed move that we can throw damage on. If we get into our momentum, it's 1 speed to everything. Amajiki doesn't add speed on face. Probably should be 3xing or 4xing this. I only have 2 copies is the issue. And I didn't feel like asking people to borrow. I was playing a couple copies of Nejire Wave, even though it's not doing anything in momentum. And the reason is that it sets up Walk the Dog pretty nicely. I'll play my Nejire Wave, discard a momentum, stun 3. Now Walk the Dog is on a 4. Even if you don't block, it's on a 4. So this was probably getting too cute. Probably should just be Rapid Speed Slash. More copies of Armor of the Phoenix or something. I also had Armor of the Ape at a 3x. I definitely should have been 4xing this, because if you get a few of these in your momentum, that's so much damage reduction. You get 2 of these in your momentum. You just say, hey, yeah, all of your attacks the rest of this game are going to get -2 damage. And when it's really scary, and I have 3 Armor of the Wolves, I mean, if I have 3 of these in my momentum, I'll say -1, -1, -1, Amajiki once per game, unflip, -1, -1, -1, for -6 damage, plus the Amajiki -20 something damage. See here, you have to play Clawstopper. Armor of the Wolf is the kill card. I'm just looking for interesting things to talk about. Steaming Sphere is nuts. You have to play a cape if you're on the symbols. That's just the rules of the game. I was playing a couple copies of Knott's Flask just because I love this asset. Honestly, in Amajiki, I probably should not have been playing this. And I probably should not have been playing this. These 2 cards should have been cut. I was playing a couple Manifest. I think this Knott's Flask should be Dark Tournament Looms, or should be I Am Here. Because the static on Amajiki says that if you use I Am Here and you hit an attack on turn 1, sure, it clogs your card pool for your build, makes your build a little harder, but your static can put it in face up. And you're getting face up momentum going first. That's just crazy. And it can give 3 speed or just build something, or it's a 1 high block in a meta where we like our 1 high block. So this Knott's Flask probably should have been I Am Here or Dark Tournament Looms. Or maybe just, if I went away from Around the World, I was playing a pretty low attack ratio because of Around the World, because if I drew this, I could go grab another Around the World or Walk the Dog. So maybe I should just take these out, sub these out, get more Krakens in, get some more rapid speed slashes, maybe take the Armor of the Phoenix up to a 3x or 4x, something along those lines. And then this, I was only 3xing Broken Psyche. I probably just should have played a 4th Broken Psyche, taking this out. So I played 1 copy of Seafood Slugger. And the reason I played the 1 copy of Seafood Slugger is because I personally like playing Forced Quirk Activation. Now, I was playing a 75 card list Amajiki. If you go for like a 60, 65, 66 card Amajiki, you probably cut Forced Quirk because your Steaming Spheres will be enough. But the nice thing is that Steaming Sphere says grab a slam attack to your momentum, but Seafood Slugger is not a slam. Forced Quirk just says add a card to your momentum. So with Forced Quirk on defense, like if you need to go in for lethal and you're playing defense, you can destroy Forced Quirk, put in Seafood Slugger, and then at the start of your next turn, go ahead and seal their best foundation. So 1 copy of Seafood Slugger. I don't think I would take it to a 2, and I don't think I would take it to 0. 1 copy felt just right. Fast Friendship. When I first made my Amajiki list, I was running Graceful Maneuvers instead of Fast Friendship, and then I sent my list to Barlow. Just because I know him and has been doing lots of work on Amajiki, so I sent my list to Barlow, and he said, hey, those need to be fast friend. I said, roast my deck for me, please. And he said, your Graceful Maneuvers need to be fast friendships. And I said, well, I wasn't sure because Amajiki feels like a more control type character, so shouldn't I be playing Graceful because it's repeatable speed hate? And Barlow basically said, play a few games with Amajiki. You'll realize he's not this control. He can be a control character, but he's with Armor of the Wolf and Armor of the Ape, he's a very aggressive character right now. You're going to be winning a lot more games on turn 3 than you realize. Fast Friendship's going to come a lot more in handy early in the game. And he was absolutely right. That was the right decision to cut Graceful and put in Fast Friendship. Would not change that. So if I actually end up running this Amajiki for Vegas instead of Jin, which I think there's about a 40% chance of that, I'll probably cut the Around the Worlds. But it was cute. It was cute to do and got top 4. So not too sad about that. Yeah, and that was the Amajiki list. Let's read some of these. How do you feel about this attack package with Jester? I'm going to be honest, I've only explored Life Jester. I've not explored Chaos Jester. And the thing is if you're playing Chaos right now and you're playing Armor of the Wolf, you have to play Mirio or Amajiki. Like, And if you're going to Vegas, I'm just going to call these characters the wolf characters. Like if you're going to seriously play in Vegas, you need to be ready for Mirio and Amajiki playing Armor of the Wolf. And the only way you're going to get around Armor of the Wolf is with resets. And then you're going to need multiple resets to get through a single one. This attack is not okay, in my opinion. It's not even close to okay. I think it's probably a top 3 attack in the game at the moment. And Mirio and Amajiki just do the best at breaking it. So one of the main reasons that Mirio breaks it is one, he gets a lot of the momentum enhances, from things in his momentum, but he also gets Lemillion of the big 3, and you can call all 3 enhances on this no matter what. So one of the things that was funny was when I was playing Patrick and I was playing Amajiki into Mirio, both of us, our Armor of the Wolves, never got damage responses because he would have enough enhances to where I could never get any damage on it, and vice versa. I could get enough enhances where he could never get any damage on it. So, yeah, these are the wolf characters. You have to be ready for them for Vegas. They're going to be all over the place. How do you feel about Seafood Slugger? Yeah, if Seafood was a slam, it would be perfect. That makes sense. Yeah, you have to run the Force Quirk activation to get it in. Reliably. So that was my local qualifier. Let's see here. I guess I'll give you an update on my championship points. Let's see. Let me come over here. There we go. Let's jump into here. No, not my events. By the way, hey guys, go register. We're at 47 players right now for the major regional. Let's see who we got here. Let's see if I got any more teammates who signed up. We got Grayson from the team is in. TC from the team is in. Patrick is in. I know there's at least 7 other team members of the Let's Talk UVS competitive team that are going. I think George is in. Carson and Christos are both coming. I think Pippa's coming. I think I can't remember everybody off the Ryan is coming. So I think we're going to have 11 members of the competitive team here in Vegas. So 47 right now, but that's at least 55. Yeah, let's see my profile. So here is where I'm at. I am at 20 champion points. Right now, 14 seasonal points, 20 championship points. My competitive season has went to a 9-person Midland local qualifier, and I won with Water Spike. I made top 8 at the webcam regional with Chaos Mirio. I won the Midland 10-person local qualifier with Void Jin, and then top 4 with Amajiki for the Lubbock local qualifier. I have the Vegas regional coming up, and then 1 local championship. I'm only going to get to do 1. I know some people are going to be able to hit up 3 or 4. That's going to be crazy. They're going to be stacking points like nuts. So pre this season, I was thinking 80 points would be enough to get into Worlds. After seeing all of these players who are going crazy grinding locals and how much locals matter more than regionals, I'm starting to think that it's going to take 100 points to get to Worlds. So I am not satisfied with 20. I think I'm going to have to at least hit 25 a season. I've honestly gotten pretty lucky this season to have done so well at the local qualifiers and the webcam regional. So I'm going to shoot for 30 or 40 this season, and then hopefully get at least 20 a season after that. But I do plan on doing all of the regionals and nationals. So I've already got my plane ticket to St. Louis. I have not gotten my plane ticket to Charlotte yet, but I am intending to do all 3. If I'm feeling really good about Worlds, I'll probably skip Charlotte. Uh, but I'm definitely going to Vegas and St. Louis. Yeah, I have two locals near me, and I'm not even bothering trying for points. Already got my 10 for nights, Nats, so we're coasting. Yeah, hey, top eight, Nats, that's still the same as last year, right? Or just win a major regional. So um, there's still viable paths even without going for the points. But that is where I'm at points wise right now. Let's see. I am going to be announcing a big tournament soon. I think for June 15th, whatever that Saturday is. So in June, we got Girl Power coming out in May. And then we've got the webcam regional the first weekend of June. And then late June, we've got Godzilla coming out. So at the moment, I am planning on June 15th. It's going to be called the Summer Bash. It's going to be a $1,000 tournament capped at 64 players, $17.50 to sign up. Only the first 64 get to sign up. And I do not think I'm going to accept community donations for it. Just going to keep it at the $1,000. June 15th. And here's how it's going to go. It's going to be actually pretty interesting. And I think I have to stop talking soon because my throat is giving me a hard time. Man. But it's going to be an interesting tournament setup. So I'm going to have 64 players, and it's going to be 3 rounds of Swiss. And then at the end of those 3 rounds, everybody 2 and 1, oh, there's going to be no ties. It's going to be, the rules set up to where there's no ties. At the end of 3 rounds, everybody who's 3-0 or 2-1 advances, which should be exactly 32 players with no ties. So at the end of 3 rounds, cut to top 32, and then it's going to be a 5-round single elimination tournament for the top 32. So 64 player tournament, 3 rounds of Swiss, cut to top 32, 5-round single elimination, 1-day event, $1,000, June 15th. I'm going to make some play mats. I'm thinking since it comes in between Girl Power and Godzilla, that I'm going to do a Mount Lady versus Godzilla playmat. I'm working with a good friend to get that playmat designed. So Mount Lady versus Godzilla Summer Bash $1,000 tournament. More details on that to come. I know I've been behind on content recently. I've already got a lot of things prepared. I've got a presentation prepared on how to beat younger. I've got presentations prepared for like top 10 foundations for Vegas, top 10 attacks for Vegas, like things to prepare for. I've been thinking through like a little tier list. I've got the Girl Power reveals that I know I need to get the snap grades on. I've got a presentation for how to build a competitive ready deck. And all of these I've just been putting off because I've been playing the game instead of making content. So like every time I think, hey, I'm going to go make a video or go stream, I think, well, or I could play the game. And then I end up playing the game instead. So I guess that's a good thing. But now that I think I'm pretty locked into Amajiki or Jin for Vegas, because I think I think we have a pretty clear like top 5 characters for Vegas, honestly. I'll be making a tier list for Vegas pretty soon. But I think it's becoming clear kind of who's to be ready for. And I think I know I had made this video about how to solve Younger, and I was saying Younger needed some sort of errata. I think I'm changing my mind and that Younger does not need an errata. He's feeling fine to play against lately. So at least the death list, like hitting snack time was enough. It just was enough. He really struggles to punch through a wall now. Unless somebody cracks the evil or all builds. I do think there's something there on evil with bullet punches and reconstructed wrecker, to where you just keep playing those, getting momentum and echoing it. But even then, you're not adding speed to things. So I've changed my mind on Younger a lot. I think he's probably still the format gatekeeper, but I'm honestly expecting less Youngers at Vegas now. And I think you're probably better off getting ready for like decks like the Wolf decks, you know, Mirio and Amajiki, and then you have to be ready for like the Sponge decks, Recovery Girl, Fresh Cut Grass, Kuwabara, Muscular. Though, okay, Muscular is not really, you know, ST. I'm just saying that like you need to get ready for these types of decks, like Byakko, like this flipping deck that you have to deal this massive damage early. Like Byakko Younger, you have to be ready for. You have to be ready for like the Recovery Girl, Kuwabara. You have to be ready for like the Wolf decks. You know, there's certain like subsections of decks that you have to be ready for. But we'll talk about that another time. But that's kind of the things that have been on my mind. But yeah, June 15th, going to be doing a $1,000 tournament with play mats to the top 4. I'm thinking it'll pay out to the top 8 and play mats to the top 4. And that'll be how it goes. Mount Lady versus Godzilla play mats. But more details on that probably here in a few weeks. And I am going to limit that tournament to 64 players. And I think I'm going to require the dual camera setup for webcam. Where you have 2 cameras, one on your hand and then one on your mat. That way you can just make double sure that there's no cheating going on. Just as a precaution, when there's when there's serious money on the line, I think it'd probably be best. So limit it to 64 players and have a little more strict webcam rules and see how that goes. Ready to go 0-3. Hey, that is needed. That is needed. That's my hope, is that even if you go 0-3, hey, you still got to come in and play a competitive event and have a good time, play 3 rounds. You know, I didn't want to start it out as single elimination right from the start because then it would just feel terrible. Yeah, so 3 rounds, cut to top 32, single elimination from there. So that was Amajiki. That was my local qualifier. Hope you enjoyed this. It is 11:57. I'm going to go to bed. That's it. Any last questions? Anybody, I don't know. Any last things anybody wants to talk about? I'm game for anything. But otherwise, I'm just going to end this thing. I think tomorrow I'm going to do a girl power video, but it's also team testing tomorrow. I want you guys to know that I wanted to stream team testing, but everybody else said no. So I wanted to do it. But I was told no because that would give away everybody else. You know, like I'm okay giving away my deck lists, but if I stream testing, it would give away everybody else's deck lists too, which I understand. I understand that. All right, that is going to do it for me. I'll see you guys next time, probably on Wednesday. Let's talk about the Girl Power reveals. There's a lot of interesting stuff in this set. I can't say that I've seen a lot of super strong stuff. I'm also going to do like a top 5 hits from Girl Power and top 5 misses, kind of like I did for Undaunted Raid. Because there's a lot of good, but there also is some bad. And I really like that new keyword, deflect. I don't like what they're doing with the common and uncommon attacks, but we'll get into this another day. I'll see you guys later. I'm going to bed. It is midnight.